Hello students, today is the last topic of this chapter photosynthesis, that is factors that influences the rate of photosynthesis. And to understand these factors that are influencing the rate of photosynthesis, we need to read a concept called cardinal points. And this concept of cardinal points was given by Sachs. I think who are listening to this lecture, every one of us know are very well known about Sachs, because regarding Sachs we already gave explanation in mineral nutrition. So I think you must have remembered him very much. So this concept of cardinal points was given by Sachs, and this concept was given in the year 1860. And according to this concept, that means concept of cardinal points, any physiological activity, let us take, anyway our lesson is also photosynthesis, so we will continue with the photosynthesis only. Now see this, you can follow my arrow mark. So see this what you call graphical representation clearly दिख रहा है ना. Now here photosynthesis, of course in this place I can take even respiration also, or I can even take growth also, but we are discussing about the photosynthesis. That's why I pasted the graph of photosynthesis. That is the only thing, there is nothing else. So let us take, this is a physiological activity. Now these are limiting factors. What are the limiting factors for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide and light, temperature, water. So these are all the limiting factors for the photosynthesis. Now let's say just randomly to explain this concept I need to take one example. So I am taking carbon dioxide as an example. So let us take, this is x-axis. X-axis में limiting factor what I have taken, carbon dioxide, whereas y-axis में I have taken our physiological activity. Now I am discussing about photosynthesis, so here I have taken photosynthesis. For example, next chapter I am going to explain respiration, so here I will take respiration. So like that the graphical representation is exactly same. Okay, now let us discuss about photosynthesis. Now if you take any physiological activity, the availability of the limiting factor, it is a key point. For example, if the limiting factor is minimum, that means very less, then the rate of this physiological activity is also very less. Now let us take this availability of the limiting factor carbon dioxide is very more maximum, then also see दिख रहा है ना, see this is hyperbola है ना. So here also the rate of photosynthesis is very less. That means any limiting factor, of course I have taken carbon dioxide. Let us take light. For example, if the light availability is very less, then also photosynthesis do not take place. Now let's say light availability is too much. That means more amount of light is available. Then also the rate of photosynthesis is very less. दोनों sides दिख रहे हैं ना आपको, इधर भी no photosynthesis and here also there is no photosynthesis. That means it is, by this graph you can clearly understand, if any factor is available very less, then also that physiological activity do not takes place. If any physiological activity, if any limiting factor it is more available, that means more than requirement also, then also that that physiological activity do not takes place. So if any photosynthetic activity, if it wanted to show its maximum rate, then the conditions must not be too less and must not be too more, then it must be medium. And this medium availability of the limiting factor, it is called as optimum. Hope you understood. For example, I will tell you a very common example, then you will understand. For example, if you take food very less, you become weak, है ना, and sometimes you become ill also. Now let us take, if you take maximum, more amount of, that means more than the requirement of the food material, then also you will become sick, then also you won't be comfortable. That means if you have the moderate amount of the food material, then your health and your body, it will be like a comfortable zone में रहेगा, है ना. So optimum availability of the limiting factor only decides the success rate of the any physiological activity. Of course, Today my lesson is photosynthesis. That's why I'm taking photosynthesis as an example. But you need to understand the concept of cardinal point. It is applicable to all the enzymatic or physiological reactions, that you need to understand. Don't think that a concept of cardinal point, it is only related to photosynthesis. So that is not the correct idea. This concept, it is related to all the physiological or enzymatic activities that takes place. Okay, hope you understood, I think so. But still, a very small recap, just half a minute may I'll tell you factors that are influencing photosynthesis. In that, we are taking the first topic, that is concept of cardinal points. And this concept of cardinal points was given by Sachs in the year 1860. According to this concept, any physiological activity which is depending upon several limiting factors, if that limiting factor is very less available, then also the photosynthetic, the physiological activity do not takes place. And if that limiting factor is more available, that means more than requirement it is available, then also that physiological activity do not takes place. Then when it takes place, when the limiting factors are available in the medium quantity, that means not too less, not too much. So in the medium quantity of the limiting factor only, that will increases or enhances the rate of that physiological activity. So now as it is, you apply to our concept, our chapter kya hai? Photosynthesis. So this is photosynthesis activity, that means the rate of photosynthesis. And this is a limiting factor. Let's say limiting factor is light. Randomly I'm taking example, students, please try to understand, don't get confused. Now if less availability of the light, so photosynthesis is not taking place, and more availability of the light, see here also the photosynthesis is not taking place. But in optimum, see it's shown its peaks, दिख रहा है ना. So in the optimum temperature or optimal light availability, or in the optimum availability of the carbon dioxide, or optimum availability of the water, so every time optimum availabilities, that means medium quantities of limiting factors will enhances the rate of any physiological activity. But in this chapter, photosynthesis, I think so you understood very clearly about a concept of cardinal point. But still, if you have any confusions, obviously feel free to ask me. Now let us take one more concept. Now the second concept is law of minimum, and the third concept is law of limiting factor. Why I am telling this two simultaneously na? Here this point you need to understand, otherwise you will get confused. Actually the third concept of factors of the photosynthesis is law of limiting factor. But problem क्या है ना, it's not a problem. The secret क्या है ना, both law of limiting factor and a law of minimum, they both are same. This is the point you need to understand. A genuine fact also I am telling you, law of limiting factor, it is completely based on the law of minimum, because both are explaining as it is the same, like as it is whatever law of minimum it is explaining, the same it is explained by law of limiting factor. But law of minimum is given by Liebig, whereas this law of limiting factor was given by Blackman. So only scientists are changed, but the central concept it is same. What they are telling now, see I'm talking about both of these laws simultaneously, so please don't get confused. If any physiological activity, it is depending upon many limiting factors, and the rate of that particular limiting factor, rate of that particular physiological activity always depends upon the one which is minimum available. You did not understand anything na successfully? Okay, don't worry at all, I am here na, definitely I'll explain in a very easy way. Now listen it carefully. Let us take photosynthesis. Now photosynthesis process, you compare this photosynthesis process by taking one a common example, that is let us take a kheer preparation. Okay, now कीर प्रिपरेशन, नाउ आई एम कंपेयरिंग विद द फोटोसिंथेसिस. नाउ कीर प्रिपरेशन के लिए क्या चाहिए आपको? यू आर एक्सपर्ट्स, यू आर वेरी गुड कुक्स, है ना. सो आपको क्या चाहिए? व्हाट यू कॉल दैट, वर्मिसेली चाहिए, एंड आल्सो दूध चाहिए, एंड आल्सो शुगर चाहिए, एंड आल्सो सम इलायची, बिकॉज फ्लेवर तो आना चाहिए ना. सो फ्लेवर के लिए इलायची, एंड ऑफ कोर्स माय फेवरेट काजू बादाम, एंड दिस आर ऑल must be there, है ना. then only that स्वाद आएगा, है ना. now let us consider this physiological process, okay, which is depending upon multiple factors. Now if anything missing, for example, I am cooking, I started cooking, making this kheer, I have everything, दूध नहीं है, I can make ना, but still that actual taste, that actual स्वाद तो नहीं आएगा, है ना. For example, I have everything, sugar is not there, then what is the meaning of sweet? Sweet must be sweety, am I correct or not? Now sweet only, that sugar only not there, how it will become sweet? So am I correct or not? That means, see, all are present, but the one which is missing only decides the taste of that kheer. I think now you understood. Same as it is, that how in kheer preparation every single factor, it is very very important. दूध important है. For example, I have what I call ghee, I have what I call all the dry nuts, and also I have vermicelli, and I have what I call milk, everything I have. For example, I don't have this what I call sugar. For example, I have sugar remaining all, I don't have what I call milk, I don't have everything, I don't have sevaya. That means you are understanding na? That means all must be present, then only the success rate of the kheer, the taste of the kheer you will get, the maja aega, hai na. Like that, law of limiting factor mein. Now please try to understand what am I telling. Now the same process, the vermicelli sorry, the sevaya preparation, sorry, I'm keep on telling the mistake, the kheer preparation you compare with the photosynthesis. Now how the kheer preparation, it is depending upon multiple factors, like milk, and also sugar, and also this sevaya, and also dry fruits and ghee, है ना. Like that, photosynthesis is also depending upon light, carbon dioxide, water, mineral salts. Like that, many factors may it is depending upon. Now if any factor is missing, for example, carbon dioxide is there, water is there, and also mineral salts are there, light is not there, so the photosynthesis do not take place. Now let us say light is there, water is there, and also mineral salts are there, carbon dioxide is not there, then also the photosynthesis do not takes place. That means आपको समझ, I think you are understanding, slowly you are understanding what I wanted to tell you. If any physiological process, it is depending upon many factors, then the one which is less, that only will decide the rate of that particular for physiological activity. I think you understood, students. But still, if you have any confusions, please ask me, and feel free to ask me, definitely I will explain you again. Now see the second point, especially you please see the second point, Blackman's law of limiting factor. It is nothing but a modified Liebig's law of minimum. That means, see this Liebig, whatever the statement he has given, थोड़ा बहुत थोड़ा modifications करके law of limiting factor was given by Blackman. Hope you understood. So by increasing the value of the limiting factor, the rate of the reaction directly increases, but please understand up to a limit. For example, sir this sentence हमको समझ में नहीं आ रहे हैं, don't worry, मैं है ना, so I will explain you again. For example, if any limiting factor it is increased, no, I will tell you in this way, definitely you will understand. Now you like gulab jamun more, so your mother, okay, today my mera bacha, he likes gulab jamun more, so I will prepare gulab jamun for him. So now you came 4 o'clock from this school, and your mother freshly served gulab jamun, then what you will do, you will gulp it, है ना. फर्स्ट 3-4 गुलाब जामुन आराम से जाएगा, एम आई करेक्ट और नॉट. ना फिफ्थ वन जाएगा, डेफिनेटली जाएगा. सिक्स्थ वन, ओके, डेफिनेटली इट विल गो. सेवेंथ वन, okay, we will manage. 8th, 9th, 10th. That means when your favorite stuff it is there to eat, definitely आपको eating capacity will increase. But कितना increase होगा, there must be a limit na. So dhire what happens na, 10 days you don't eat gulab jamun. I think you are understanding. I'm telling you very common examples. By telling this common examples, you will understand this concept. That means if any factor influencing photosynthesis, if it is more available, yes, rate of photosynthesis also increase, but up to a limit, not more than a limit. For example, if I like biryani, if I eat more biryani, that means I eat definitely more, but there must be a limit. I can't be able to take 10 people's ka biryani, I can't be able to eat alone. Yes, I am foodie, I know I am very foodie, I eat more, but कि मैं कितना खा सकते हैं? Of course I am also human being end of the day. So when we get the favorite items, we eat more, but up to a limit, but not beyond the limit. So that is the meaning of this statement. And concentration of carbon dioxide is always a limiting factor for the photosynthesis, and it must be 300 ppm, if you compare it in percentages, 0.03 percentage, whereas during cloudy days light becomes the limiting factor, whereas in aquatic plants carbon dioxide is not a limiting factor. Hope you know. I think you by this time only you must have understood, because water may always the carbon dioxide, it is present in the dissolved state. In the bicarbonate form it will be available. So in aquatic plants may never the carbon dioxide will be the limiting factor, whereas in the terrestrial habitat may always the carbon dioxide is a limiting factor, because it always depends upon the area. For example, if you take industrial area, the availability of the carbon dioxide is more, whereas if you take a fresh green area, the availability of the carbon dioxide is medium. That means kitna chahiye utna hi rahega. That's why carbon dioxide is always a limiting factor. Hope you understood. Now let us go for water. I think so, students, I am thinking so you understood concept of cardinal point, and also law of minimum, and also law of limiting factor. Of course, if you understand law of limiting factor, obviously you must have understood law of minimum, because both the what I call concepts are as it is same. To be frank, as it is, like 99% they are same. Hope you understood. If you still have any confusions, please definitely ask me. I will definitely explain you. Okay, once again. Okay, now let us go for what are the factors that are influencing the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, it will be influenced by both external factors and of course internal factors also. But you are so lucky. Why you are so lucky na? You need not to read about this internal factors, because internal factors is not at all there. So I am directly going, I am sticking according to the NCERT syllabus, I'm sorry, NEET syllabus. So I am discussing only about the external factors. Even this complete video I am going to explain about only external factors. Sir, I personally have interest whether it is there in the syllabus or not. I wanted to know. If you have any intention like that, please let me know. I have ready notes. Definitely I will send you and you can go through it. I need not to prepare it again. I already have the notes. So definitely I will send you. But in this lecture, I am going to explain only about external factors. I think it is clear. Now, what are the external factors? Availability of the sunlight, and temperature, and carbon dioxide concentration, and availability of water and mineral nutrients. So these are the external factors that influences the rate, the capacity, the amount of photosynthesis. Okay, now let us take the first one. What is the first one? Oh, sorry. The first factor is light. But before that, I forgot to tell you one more point, that is compensation point. What is compensation point? The point at which rate of photosynthesis is equal to rate of respiration. So, when the rate of photosynthesis it is taking place, as many times I told you, to be frank, I need not to tell you every time. uh, Always photosynthesis mein carbon dioxide it will be taken, and the oxygen it will be released in the photosynthesis, whereas respiration में क्या होता है? Oxygen it will be taken and carbon dioxide it will be released. That means दोनों they are contrasting. Photosynthesis में carbon dioxide it is taken, oxygen will be released. Respiration में क्या हो रहा है? oxygen it is taken and carbon dioxide will be released. The point where kitna amount of carbon dioxide sorry oxygen released by photosynthesis, it becomes equal to the kitna amount of the carbon dioxide released by the respiration. Then this matching point, it is called as compensation point. That means the point where the rate of photosynthesis is equal to the rate of respiration, and that point where this both become equal, that point only you are calling it as compensation point. I think so you understood. Any environmental factor which can start or even stop the photosynthesis can be responsible for the compensation point. That means light is responsible for compensation point, and what you call carbon dioxide, water, mineral salts, all the factors that are influencing the photosynthesis, they all can bring the compensation point. Again, safety ke liye I am telling compensation point matlab rate of photosynthesis. If it becomes to the rate of respiration, then that is called as compensation point. Now, there are three types of compensation points. What are they? Let us take the first one, light compensation point, and the next one is temperature compensation point, and the last one is carbon dioxide concentration point. But you please understand one thing, carbon dioxide compensation point, it is usually never natural. Why? Always the atmosphere it maintains 0.03, of course maximum is 0.04 percentage of carbon dioxide. Very rarely, that means if due to the human activities only, the carbon dioxide it decreases or increases in the atmosphere. That's why carbon dioxide compensation point, it is naturally, sorry, not naturally obtained, it is always the man-made. That means if you wanted to experiment on some plant, then he increase or decrease the carbon dioxide, and then he will get to know what is carbon dioxide compensation point. Hope you understood. Now, let us take the first one. What is the first one? Light compensation point. What is light compensation point? That means high for heliophytes. Students, I think so you know what is the meaning of heliophytes, because this what you call morphology of flowering plants I personally explained. So you know, I think so you know what is the meaning of heliophytes. Heliophytes means the plants which grow in salt areas. That means salt tolerant plants. Whereas ceophytes also, what is the meaning of ceophytes? Shade loving plants. That means the plants, for example, if you take a plant, that plant it do not grow under direct sunlight, it grow under a big trees. That means some plants are there na, big tree will be there and it has a big crown. Under that crown, that means under the shade, some plants will grow, and the plants that grow under shade, then they are called as ceophytes. And this two, heliophytes and also and ceophytes, I already told you, morphology of flowering plants. No problem, sometimes I also forget. If you forget, open morphology of flowering plants and go through that, and definitely you will understand what is the meaning of heliophytes and ceophytes. I think now also I told you, I think you understood, but still safety ke liye once more I am repeating. Heliophytes means salt tolerating plants. Ceophytes means the plants which grow under shade. That means shade loving plants, they are called as ceophytes. Light compensation point, it is high for the heliophytes and low for the ceophytes. And ceophytes possess large surface area of leaves and a large number of photosynthetic units or quintosomes per unit area of leaf, and vice versa in heliophytes. Okay, now let us take the next one. The next one is temperature compensation point. It is obviously this is not a big point, students. Minimum common sense, everyone must have understood. Compensation point is obviously high for C4 and CAM plants, because both they are having adaptations for this light. C4 cycle and CAM cycle I already explained. So it is obviously high for what I call this temperature, and it is ranges from minimum 12 to 15, that are even 55 degrees centigrade also, and low for C3, and the minimum it goes for 2 to 3 and maximum it goes for 48 degrees centigrade. Whereas carbon dioxide compensation points, it is not naturally obtained, and in C3 plants the compensation point it ranges around 40 to 60 ppm, and low for C4 plants, 0 to 10 ppm. So this is all about the compensation points. Now let us take the light, the first factor. If you take the light, the first factor that is influencing the process of photosynthesis, light, it influences the rate of photosynthesis in three ways. The first one is light quality, and second one is light intensity, and the next one is light what I call quantity. Sorry students, I made a very small mistake. I repeated these points. Okay, so I'm deleting this point. I'm extremely sorry for what I did. So sometimes it happens, and with me it every time happens, so please tolerate me. Okay, so light, it influences the rate of photosynthesis in two ways. The first one is a light quality, and the next one is a light intensity. Light quality I need not to explain, because in the introduction only I explained so clearly the quality of light, that means the photosynthesis, the quality is obviously obtained in red and blue lights, and also highest in white light, whereas the rate of photosynthesis is very less in green. So this point I already told you. You remember ना, विबजीआर, विबजीआर कॉन्सेप्ट में क्लैडोफोरा आपको याद आ रहे हैं ना. सो क्लैडोफोरा एक्सपेरिमेंट में आई टोल्ड द रेट ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस मैक्सिमम अंडर रेड एंड ब्लू लाइट्स, and very less minimum in green light. Okay, if you take the light intensity, photosynthesis increases up to a limit by increasing the light intensity, but up to a limit. And after that, that means more if you give, and obviously the rate it decreases. Okay, now at a certain intensity, air exchange from photosynthetic zone of the plant stops, and this intensity it is called as a light compensation point. That means at a point of light availability, the photosynthetic rate and the respiration respiratory rate it matches, and the point where the the photosynthetic activity it becomes equal to the rate of respiration, then that is called as compensation point. So hope you understood what is the meaning of light compensation point. Usually the light compensation point it will be attained in the evening time and also morning time, whereas compensation point in Ceophytes means shade loving plants, whereas heliophytes means salt tolerant plants. Now in this Ceophytes it is from 10 to 100 foot candles. What is the meaning of foot candle? Measure of light intensity, it is called as foot candles. FT means foot, FOOT, foot candles. Okay, whereas heliophytes may the compensation point is 100 to 200 foot candles. Okay, whereas decrease in the photosynthesis is due to the destruction of chlorophyll by oxidation in strong light. That means if more light, that means heavy light, if sometimes heavy light if it strikes the chlorophyll is a molecule na, it completely get distracted, and that distraction in the presence of oxygen it is called as photooxidation. Hope you understood students. Light. Now I am going to explain about the second factor that is influencing the rate of photosynthesis, that is carbon dioxide concentration. And carbon dioxide is a major limiting factor for the photosynthesis, whereas in the atmosphere it is available up to 0.03 to 0.04 percentage, where the carbon fertilization, what is the meaning of carbon fertilization? And carbon fertilization is many times asked question, you have to remember this point. Now carbon dioxide fertilization means the rate of photosynthesis it increases with the increasing availability of carbon dioxide, but please understand up to some limit. That means see basically photosynthesis के लिए क्या चाहिए? Carbon dioxide, because photosynthesis में क्या रहे, the atmospheric carbon dioxide only it is converting into C6H12O6. That means the basic requirement for the photosynthesis is carbon dioxide. So more amount of carbon dioxide, obviously more amount of glucose, but kitna more? That means the increase in the availability of the carbon dioxide, it obviously increases the rate of photosynthesis, but up to a limit, and this is called as carbon dioxide fertilization. Now this availability of the carbon dioxide is more, then what happens, it results in the carbon toxicity. That means please try to understand. Now you take a plant, प्लांट को थोड़ा कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ज़्यादा दे दो, देन व्हाट हैपेंस, इट स्टार्ट्स इंक्रीजिंग इट्स रेट ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस. और ज़्यादा दे दो, देन व्हाट हैपेंस, इट स्टॉप्स. और ज़्यादा दे दो, देन इट बिकम्स टॉक्सिक. यू अंडरस्टूड ना? खाना अच्छा से खा लो, नो प्रॉब्लम. और थोड़ा ज़्यादा खा लो, चलो नो प्रॉब्लम, ओके. बट और ज़्यादा खाएगा तो मर जाएगा, है ना? सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज carbon fertilization and carbon toxicity. I think so now you understood. Whereas increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide up to 0.5 percentage, it can obviously increases the rate of photosynthesis, but not beyond that. Beyond 0.5 percentage of carbon dioxide availability, it damages this particular plant body. So hope you understood. So you understood carbon fertilization and carbon toxicity. I am thinking so carbon toxicity means more than availability, that means excessive availability of the carbon dioxide concentration, and of course salinity stress also, it results in the closing of the stomata, and also this particular photosynthetic activity, it will be stopped. Hope you understood. Then that is called as carbon toxicity. And here I need to tell you one important question, especially maize plant, it is acting as carbon bioindicator. That means if environment में carbon dioxide ज़्यादा हो रहे हैं, मतलब obviously maize plant leaves are there ना, they show zebra like stripes, so that indicates yes this atmosphere में carbon dioxide percentage ज़्यादा हो रहे हैं, then this maize plant, it is considered as bioindicator of carbon concentration. Hope you understood. And carbon dioxide compensation point matlab where the CO2 concentration at which, that means the CO2 liberation, it becomes to the oxygen consumption of the respiration. If they both become equal, then that is called as carbon dioxide compensation point. And in C3 plants and C4 plants, they respond differently towards the carbon dioxide elevations. For example, if you take C3 plant, the carbon dioxide compensation point is very high, whereas 50 to 100 ppm, whereas in C4 plants it is just what I call 10 ppms, okay, because C3 plants may there is a chance of photosynthesis, but C4 plants may there is no chance of photosynthesis. That's why there is no problem. Hope you understood. But still, if you definitely I will be always available if you don't understand, okay. Now the next one is temperature. So temperature is one of the key factor that decides the rate of photosynthesis, because basically photosynthesis is an enzymatic activity, and all the enzymes are very sensitive to the temperature. This is a basic common sense, hai na? Now generally photosynthesis does not occur at 0 degrees centigrade due to the enzymes, they becomes inactive, whereas the maximum, that means maximum rate of temperature, it required for the photosynthesis 25 to 30 degrees centigrade, whereas in the C4 plants may 35 to 40 degrees centigrade. Whereas if the temperature is more, ज़्यादा है temperature, that means 50-55 degrees centigrade, then obviously the photosynthesis will stop, because the chlorophyll है ना, it gets denatured. That two enzymes are also denatured. Whereas Q10 value, what is the meaning of Q10 value? Q10 value मतलब देखो थोड़ा अच्छा से सुनो, otherwise you don't understand. Till now I think all the points are so easy, you must have understood, but Q10 value थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो. Now see, the optimum temperature for the photosynthesis is 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. Of course you can take till 35 also, there is no problem, इतना margin तो रहेगा. Now for example 25 to 35 is the optimum temperature. Up 10 degrees बढ़ाओ, you understood ना? If you increase, that means 35 to 45 कीजिए, then what is the sensitivity that takes place in the enzymatic activity? That sensitivity, measuring of the temperature sensitivity, again I am telling you, measuring of the temperature sensitivity on the enzymatic activity for every 10 degree centigrade temperature increase, that means हर एक 10 degree centigrade if you are increasing, कितना enzymatic activity it is increasing or decreasing, that it is called as a Q10 value. I think so you understood. Students, Q10 values are very very important. If you don't understand, you please ask me, please don't hide your doubts, but still if you understand also I'm going to explain it once again. Now let us take photosynthesis. Photosynthesis का optimum temperature क्या है? 25 to 30. चलो 35 भी चलेगा, इतना तो margin तो रहेगा, there is no problem. So चलो 25 to 35 तक पकड़ो. Now अभी 10 degrees आप increase किया, then enzymes कैसे act हो रहे हैं, enzymes में क्या क्या changes हो रहे हैं, that is only it is called for every 10 degree centigrade enzymatic activity में कितना changes आ रही है, that change only you are calling it as Q10 value. I think you understood. And average Q10 value, it is 1.9 for respiration, whereas 2 to 3 average कितना है? 2.4 for photosynthesis. That means almost double than the respiration. Whereas for example if you increase 10 degrees, that means this values, that means 1.9 and also 2.4, this is average value for 25 to 35 degrees centigrade. Whereas our 10 centigrade badao, then what happens, this respiration also, the respiration Q10 also it increases double, whereas photosynthesis also it becomes a double. I think you are understanding it. That means Q10 value, it is showing the response of the enzymatic activity for every 10 degrees centigrade increase in the temperature than the optimum temperature. I think so you understood, students. Now in most plants the photosynthesis will initiates from 0 degrees to 5 degrees centigrade. It starts, please don't get confused. See, under 0 degrees centigrade it do not takes place, but धीरे धीरे it is increasing in a 1 degrees 2 degrees, then the photosynthetic activity slowly it starts. Please try to understand my point. 0 degrees में बिल्कुल नहीं होते हैं, but 0 से आगे 1 2 3, then धीरे धीरे what happens, the rate of photosynthesis धीरे धीरे it starts, है ना. Now but this is exceptional for few plants. In lichens it occurs at minus 20 degrees centigrade, such a surprising fact देखो. Whereas in some conifers minus 35 degrees centigrade में it takes place, whereas in some succulents it takes place at 55 degrees centigrade, 55 degrees centigrade, okay. Whereas in thermal algae oscillatoria में 70 to 80 degrees centigrade, इतना high temperature में भी the photosynthesis takes place. Of course these are all exceptionals, so you don't worry about these exceptionals. Hope you understood what is how the temperature is influencing the rate of photosynthesis. Okay, now let us take the last factor, that is water. And what to speak of water, water is a main substance that is required for the rate of for the photolysis, and because of the photolysis only the oxygen it is liberated into the atmosphere. Whereas water, because of the water hydrolysis only the the energy requirements that will be released in the photosynthesis, for which is required for the dark reaction. Okay, now for example if you take water, water should not be more also and it should not be less also. For example if less water is there, obviously there is no photolysis, and there is no photolysis, so there is no energy for the dark reaction. When there is no energy for the dark reaction, and obviously there is no photosynthesis. Now let us take, if the water availability is बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, then what happens, it results in the stress in the stomata. That means stomata it becomes more participated in transpiration, and धीरे धीरे उसको काम बढ़ जाएगा. Then what happens, the stomata it becomes tired up and it becomes closed. Then if stomata becomes closed, carbon dioxide availability also will be less. So obviously the complete photosynthesis only will be jammed. That means it will be stopped. That means water should not be available more and water should not be available less. And more availability of water may the plant it starts wilting. What is the meaning of wilting? Losing the freshness of the leaf, it is called as wilting. Now the last one, it is inclusive of water only. So minerals is not a separate factor, because pani mein minerals they are present in the dissolved state. So water along with minerals, especially magnesium. Magnesium is a central atom for the chlorophyll molecule, है ना? So if magnesium is not there, तो chlorophyll also do not takes place. If a chlorophyll is not there, तो light can't be trapped by the plant. And iron and this nitrogen, this sulfur and also potassium, they are essential for the synthesis of the chlorophyll. And manganese, it is helpful for the photolysis of water. And phosphorus, it is required for the photophosphorylation, that means the process of ATP production. So hope you understood the factors that are responsible for the photosynthesis. With this I completed the chapter photosynthesis, and in the next class I am going to start the new chapter, that is respiration. Hope you understood, students. If you have any doubts, please ask me. I request you to don't hide your doubts. Thank you so much.